Before we season Zurich and Vera, we have an undefeated prospect trying to gain more momentum and more attention. 15-0, Tony Lewis. That's how he wants it pronounced. Tony Lewis taking on Jose Hernandez. And there is Tony Lewis, the lightweight prospect from nearby Ontario, Canada. Yet to face good competition, 15-0 with 7 knockouts. A look at his fighter focus. He made his U.S. debut here in this arena and this ring last September, scored a first-round knockout. Friends with David Lemieux, who we saw take the ride up as a prospect on Friday Night Fights, and you see the amateur success he had back in Canada. He was supposed to fight Miguel Gonzalez, but he pulled out with an illness. So earlier this week, Jose Hernandez got the call and took the fight. Comes from Fort Worth. He's 13-6-1 with 5 knockouts. His own trainer expressed concern about the manager accepting this fight, saying he knows Hernandez isn't 100% ready. Time to keep your edge, brought to you by Just for Men Mustache and Beard. Teddy.
Let's start with the undefeated Lewis. He is not in top shape. You just touched on it. Ring pressure and a left hook to the body. And for Hernandez, well, box on the outside and try to keep a slow pace and look for spots to sneak in the right hand.
Boxer, come to the center of the ring. Center of the ring, Boxer.
Dick Picazzi is the referee scheduled for 10.
Clean guy out of both of you. Protect yourself at all times. Be my commands. Touch gloves now, go back to your corner, and we'll get going.
Well, one advantage that Lewis has, make that 2. First of all, he had full time to prepare for this fight. You just touched on it. 4 days notice, maybe a little bit more for Hernandez. Not enough time to get ready for any fight, especially in a fight this important in somebody's career. And Hernandez has not been in a good place mentally in the last part of his career anyway. Has only won 3 of his last 9. And if those problems aren't enough for Hernandez, well, he's a smaller guy. Turned pro at 117 pounds, bantamweight, moved up to featherweight, then lightweight. While Lewis has fought between lightweight, junior welterweight his whole career.
See a combination from Tony Lewis there. Lewis gives up height to Hernandez, 3.5 inches.
Well, the first thing I notice is how tall Hernandez is. Sounds like a good thing, but it's a bad thing if you give up that height and you don't know how to use it.
Lewis
and you come in close.
The body, Teddy.
Yeah, well, Hernandez, the good thing about being tall is you stand on the outside, use that reach, use that height. You can make your shorter opponent make mistakes. Have to go through a bad neighborhood and maybe get mugged on the way to getting to you with the taller guy. But if you give up your height, well, 2 things happen. 1, you're a lot of target. You're in close to the shorter man, you stand straight up, there's a lot of target for the shorter man to catch. And as you said, there's a lot of body. If you're tall and lean, well, there's a lot of midsection to attack for the shorter Lewis.
Good left hook by Tony Lewis. There's a right hand to the body from Jose Hernandez.
Now again, good work by Hernandez, but geographically in the wrong place. Not using his height, being inside in the pocket where you would think Lewis would have to be happy that he's accommodating him. Getting close to him, because if he doesn't accommodate him by giving up his height, well, the pressure's on Lewis to take chances to get close.
Lewis doubled up that left hand moments ago and scored. Hernandez trying to go to the body as well. There's another left hand that touches the body of Jose Hernandez.
Plenty of grit and gameness from Hernandez, who has taken this fight on short notice. But can he keep up that fire, not being in the best of shape?
Reminder that we invite you to go to our Facebook page, the Friday Night Fight Facebook page, and click on the live scoring button and join in throughout the night. Join Teddy in scoring our fights. You, the fan, will update that throughout the night. Opens up at the end of each round, and you can go ahead and click and join in at any point throughout the night with the live scoring. That's on the Friday Night Fight Facebook page.
You know, I just noticed not only is Hernandez giving up his height, but look, he's showing plenty of gamesmanship, and he's firing punches, but his punches are wide. You think when Lewis goes back to his corner, maybe someone's going to tell him in that corner, getting ready. He's a southpaw. They bring that to the game. And I think really that this main event could not be at a better named place, the Turning Stone Casino.
How so?
Well, it truly is a turning point in both these fighters' careers, in Zurich and Vera. The loser becomes an opponent for the most part. He becomes a guy for up-and-coming fighters to be tested with. So, the Turning Stone, a turning point in both these fighters' careers. Stay tuned, it should be interesting. There's a lot on the line.
So that's our main event. Former WBO junior middleweight champ Sergey Zinzura taking on the veteran Brian Vera. Round number 2 here. What's been good action to open up the night between Hernandez and the 15-0 Tony Lewis.
You know,
look at Hernandez with that combination. Started with the left hand to the belt line.
Well, Hernandez is doing it supposedly in the wrong place. You're tall, you're long. The other guy's a lot shorter than you. You're supposed to do it on the outside. But Hernandez is very comfortable taking it to Lewis, the shorter man, wanting to do it on the outside. But I'd like to see him do that. Do a little counter punching on the outside with the left hook and use that jab on the outside. Keep some separation. You know, I critique there's that kind of left hook that Hernandez is looking to use, and now he turns it into an uppercut. Doing a pretty good job, Hernandez, with that left hand. You know, I've pointed out some of the shortcomings of Hernandez early. Wide punches, gives up his height. Of course, we don't know what kind of condition is he in. His trainer told us that he didn't really want to take this fight.
Well, let's get into that a little bit. Vincent Reyes is his trainer. He said, and this is a quote from him, he said, "We got the call for this fight on Monday, and Frank Espinoza, that's the manager, accepted it on behalf of Jose Hernandez. Said, to be honest with you, I didn't want to take it. He's nowhere near 100%. I know he could beat the guy if he was, but now it's going to be harder than it has to be. So we'll see."
It's not too hard right now. Right now, Hernandez is actually beating Lewis at his game. Lewis is supposed to be in this fight. If you look at physicality,
oh, he got tagged that time.
Lewis is supposed to be the better guy on the inside. Hernandez has been making an argument to be the better guy on the inside.
Now look at Hernandez charging in after he ate that left hand, and he opens up with a sweeping left hand of his own, and he backs up Tony Lewis.
So there's a reason why he's able to catch Lewis on the inside. You know, I talked about the mistakes of Hernandez. Here's one of the mistakes of Lewis. Look how square he is. There's a lot of target, and he's been affected by Hernandez. There's a lot of target. Look at those feet of Lewis. He's too much of a square target for Hernandez.
Good action to close out round number 2 as we say hello to Todd Grisham in the studio. Good evening, Todd. No doubt about it, Todd. We've had good stuff here at Turning Stone to open up the night. Jose Hernandez and Tony Lewis. Hernandez took the fight on short notice, but he's giving Lewis notice that he's here to stay early on.
You know, one thing that really strikes you about Hernandez, yeah, he's giving up his height. Yeah, he's wide with his punches. Yeah, he only took this fight on 4 days' notice, but yeah, he behaves like a fighter. No surprise. When you look at the family, or the size of the family he comes from, Joe, he had 11 brothers and 3 sisters. Well, to get anything at that dinner table, you had to be a fighter.
I'd say. Had 150 amateur fights. Won the national JOs back in 03 at 106 pounds, was the gold medalist. Had the left hand straight a little low.
Now, Hernandez came in, and this speaks to taking the fight on short notice. So we're going to see what's in the gas tank as the rounds go on. But he came in his second heaviest weight of his career.
Told you what his trainer Vincent Reyes said. He also said, hey, I know he can go a hard 8 rounds. He worries about the last 2. This is scheduled for 10.
Two ways to behave when you're the shorter guy with a taller guy. And Lewis has used both those ways so far early in this fight. One is to go inside and do that, look to work. The other is to be the smaller, quicker guy, go in and go out. And right now, Lewis is trying to do a little bit of that. And by going out, well, you might say at home, Teddy, if the shorter guy goes out, how are you going to hit the taller guy? Well, when you go out, sometimes you entice the taller guy to come in. That's what Lewis is trying to do. Lewis has a problem defensively. He stands straight up, Joe, in that punching zone. And he's caught some left hooks. Again, and that time left hook on the right hand.
Left hook straight right that time.
Yeah, standing up straight. Again, you're in that punching zone, my goodness. I don't know what they're telling him in the corner, but there he slips a little bit. But you're in front of your man. Get small. You know, dip down on the side a little bit. Or change your range, but don't stand in that punching zone straight up. And Hernandez has really made him pay a price. These first 3 rounds, standing straight up in front of him.
Intriguing matchup. The unbeaten Lewis being tested here by Hernandez. We'll take a quick break. In Verona, New York at Turning Stone Resort and Casino. The onion farmer from this area, and that's why the Boxing Hall of Fame is proud to call Central New York home. Teddy's fight plan coming up later tonight took place at the Boxing Hall of Fame with a very special piece of boxing memorabilia that we will show off.
You know, Joe, you talked about what the trainer of Hernandez has stated. Vincent Reyes, the trainer. You talked about his quote of saying, you know, he honestly stated that Hernandez is not in top shape. He wished that he had a couple more weeks to get him ready, and in some ways he wished that he didn't take the fight. You know, the mental luggage of that, the mental message that can send, can start to affect Hernandez later in the fight.
Oh, of course.
Because if he starts to feel a little fatigued, if he starts to have a tough round, all of a sudden those words can start to echo in his ears like a 3-punch combination.
That's right.
They can start to say to him, you know what, my trainer didn't think I should take this. Maybe I shouldn't have.
Look at him turn over that left hook consistently, Teddy.
Speed, Tony, speed.
Just as much as other comments can empower a young man. Facebook voting, you the viewer at home, your scorecard 2-1 for Tony Lewis. Although that 3rd round, razor-thin margin, dominating 2nd round by Hernandez.
Yeah, it was a close round. I gave it to Hernandez. I thought his punches were a little heavier. But you can see it either way. Again, that left hook has been an enemy of Lewis, the undefeated fighter. And if he wants to stay undefeated, you better find a way of not getting caught that left hook to the body or to the head. And I can tell you how he could do that. Don't stand straight up in front in that punching zone. You won't get caught to the head. Dip a little bit. Let it go around your shoulder. And as far as the body, well, walk around Hernandez. Don't stand right in front. Walk around him. Keep him
right in
moving
front.
keep him moving his feet, adjusting so he can't get set to throw that hook.
He was having success on the inside, throwing punch out of punch, little flurry, combination, but he was so squared up. As soon as you said it, he caught 2 punches.
And again, that terrible habit of Lewis, they need to correct that, whether he wins or loses here. If he's going to go up that boxing ladder, they need to correct it.
Oh, he opened up that time.
Standing straight up in that punching zone.
Coming to the end of round number 4 here. Entertaining opening bout on Friday Night Fights between Hernandez and the unbeaten Tony Lewis. Our main event set to come, Brian Vera against Sergey Zinzirek. And in Zinzirek's locker room is where we find our Bernardo Osuna. The titleist, now 36 years old.
Let me ask you a question, Joe.
Yes.
He's going for the victory. What else would he be going for? There's no second place in this business.
There is none. That's the beauty of it.
You know, either you win or you go home.
And as you said, a critical juncture for both men, Zinzirek and Vera, in terms of being a must-win.
I would hope somebody that's stepping in that ring would have the mindset that they're going for the victory. I wouldn't want to be in that corner if they didn't. And right now, maybe you see in the conditioning, the better conditioning of Lewis, who had full time to get ready for this fight. Maybe it's starting to show itself a little bit as a small man is starting to boss around the big man, the tall man.
Come on, get up here.
Look how heavy. Take a look at how heavy in the corner Hernandez is breathing as he waited for that mouthpiece to be rinsed off and replaced.
Remember the short notice call to duty here for Hernandez. The concern from his trainer. Scheduled for 10 rounds. See how much it starts to play a factor here. Teddy scorecard 38-38.
Both guys square up. Look at the feet of both fighters. They're both presenting a lot of target to move their hands and to find something.
Lewis getting the attention of the crowd with a little shoe shine and then came up with the left hand.
Yeah, well, that's proof of Lewis's amateur career, about 100 amateur fights. And in the amateurs, you learn to do that, to steal rounds, to steal a card in a 3-round fight.
Put your heads in there now.
To kind of get the attention of the judges. Right there, Hernandez got the attention of Lewis with an uppercut. But I'm watching that imaginary gas stick, the gas indicator, go towards E on Hernandez.
Just see it in his posture, his body language.
Stick the jab. Stick the jab. No.
The long reaching right hand that he didn't pay the price for.
The bad news, Hernandez, he's tired. He's a little spent. The good news, anytime he moves his hands, he doesn't have a lot of trouble finding the undefeated Lewis.
Nope.
Lewis is right in front of him. And again,
does it with a left hook again.
He stands straight up, he squares up, and he gives that a target for those left hooks.
Teddy. 2 times with the left hook there. And again with the left hook here at the end of round number 5. As Lewis with a flurry on the inside, but the more effective shots coming from Hernandez.
This is what I would present as Exhibit 1 in the last round. Who gets it? Yeah, the busier guy is Lewis, but look at who's landing the clean punches. That would be that man. You could read his name on his back if you're not sure who it is. That would be Hernandez. So that's the kind of round where you really have to have judges that understand what the criterion of scoring a pro fight is. Who lands the cleaner, more effective punches? The guy who was busier that round, I make no dispute about it. It was Lewis. Hernandez landed harder punches.
Round number 6 here, scheduled for 10. Joe Tessitore, Teddy Atlas ringside. Bernardo Osuna with us here at Turning Stone Resort and Casino in Central New York. Our opening bout, Lewis and Hernandez. And Zurich and Vera still to come in the main event. Facebook, you, the viewer at home, can score along with Teddy Atlas. Just go to the Friday Night Fight Facebook page. Another close round, that 5th round. Fans at home gave it to Lewis 3 rounds to 2.
Now, I know it's been put in the head of Hernandez that he wasn't in shape. His trainer told everybody, but he's fighting gallantly. He's behaving like a fighter. But now what should be put in his head, if I was in that corner, is, hey, buddy, Hernandez, you've gone through the worst of it, and you're getting very close now to a point where you're going to have an advantage, where you're getting to a place where Lewis has never been before. Lewis has never been past 8 rounds. Hernandez has been 10 rounds 3 times. I'd start to play that up a little bit.
Back to the head. Back to the head.
Let's take a look at some of the CompuBox numbers and what they have compiled so far. And look at the work rate of Lewis. 518 total punches thrown, landing 188. But as we've noted, the more effective, harder punches, for the most part, coming from Jose Hernandez.
This is a nice, solid, entertaining fight.
Agreed.
To start off a Friday night.
It really is. It's well matched.
Eric Botcher, the matchmaker, did a good job with this one. Oh, there again, take notice. Not only the fans at home who are scoring, but you would hope the judges take notice. Good left hook landed by Hernandez. Again, the busier guy, Lewis. But a good left hook about 30 seconds ago rang the bell
Oh, and he got him with a straight left hand that time.
Well, he can't miss him. He keeps giving him that opportunity, he being Lewis, by standing straight up in that punching zone.
2 minutes and 30 seconds of Tony Lewis working, and all of a sudden, one explosive moment from Jose Hernandez.
Joe, you've heard me many, many times say, what's the sense of being tall if you don't know how to fight tall? Well, what's the sense of being small if you don't know how to fight small? Lewis doesn't know how to fight small. He stands tall when he should be getting small right in front of his guy.
Move your hands. Don't stand up. Go.
Remember when you were a kid in school and that teacher used to take that old eraser, just erase everything off the blackboard? Well, look at that left hook. It just erased all the work that Lewis did, that pitter-patter work, all those punches, erased it right there.
Stick.
You know, the crowd I hung out with, Teddy, the Catholic nuns used to throw the eraser at us.
Well, yes.
Not far from here, by the way.
No, they
down in Albany, New York.
They actually were inclined to be good boxing trainers.
I'm being kind with what I'm saying, by the way. The eraser was the least of it.
Yeah, the ruler was worse. But it made you move your head.
Yeah.
I mean, really, you'd learn some defense with those.
You also learn what the inside of a closet looked like when they would shut the door. But just put you in there and shut the door. But, you know, we could stray in this conversation.
There was a lot of things that you never understood the reason for learning those things. But
it made you a man, Teddy.
Yeah, well, that's what they say.
Right. Round 7 here. Been a good one with Tony Lewis and Jose Hernandez. Remember, Lewis is the unbeaten but yet to be challenged in his career up until this point prospect from Canada. 15-0. Comes from nearby Ontario. Made his U.S. debut here over the border in upstate New York. And had a first-round knockout, but a much different beast tonight as he is being challenged by the Texan, Jose Hernandez, who took the bout on short notice.
Don't stand in front of him. Stand still. Work now. Body.
Most of the fights for Hernandez have been in his home state of Texas. And, you know, one of the things that's serving him now, this is going to sound funny, but he's behaving like a fighter. And one of the things that's serving him, he hasn't been as carefully handled or protected as much as the undefeated Lewis was. Hernandez was put into a 10-round fight in only his 7th pro fight. And right now, that tough love, if you will, being handled with, you know, without kid gloves, being thrown in there a little bit, that's serving him right now a little bit.
It is. That was against Matt Remillard, a good-looking young fighter from Connecticut. He fought back in 06, went the distance, lost a 10-rounder. That's a fighter that you and I raved about as he was coming up, and Hernandez was thrown in with him.
You know, Hernandez has been fire-tested, and Lewis, right now, is just starting to feel the heat of that kind of test. And he's hoping he doesn't get scorched. And he has been burnt a couple times tonight with left hooks, standing up straight when he should be getting small in front of his taller opponent.
But always putting forth the work rate. And so many times the judges are enamored by that. Who's working, who's being aggressive.
And they should not be. That's where you need a classroom. That's where you need somebody teaching these judges what the proper criterion is and to follow it. It's not about throwing punches only. It's about landing and affecting.
Brian Ferris coming up in our main event against Zen Zurich. Let's check in with Bernardo. In here, you're talking about Andy Lee. James Kirkland back in 08. You know how destructive Kirkland was back then. Craig McEwen. Sebastian Demirs was his good win. That was a fight that Teddy, we called up there in Canada. And then the 2 wins against Sergio Mora. So we will see what Vera offers up against the recent title holder, Sergey Zinzurek. That's set to come. Here's round 8.
This Lewis is a little bit like an unwelcome guest at a barbecue. You know, a bunch of mosquitoes. I mean, he's always on. He doesn't have a lot of power, but he's always on you, as you said, keeping a good work rate. But the insect repellent is always there to get rid of mosquitoes. And the insect repellent tonight has been the left hook of Hernandez when Lewis has stood up right about there. Now he's bending a little bit. He did a good job there, bending, weaving a little bit. That's what Lewis has to do more of.
To your point, Teddy, 704 punches now thrown by Tony Lewis to 503 for Hernandez.
See, when you're on the inside for you young fighters out there, you're on the inside. Get yourself not only into good offensive position, get yourself into good defensive position too. Because guess what? The guy in front of you, well, they got a terrible habit of throwing back. Again, you can see very dangerous there. Lewis standing straight up while he's right in that punching area.
Don't sit in the box and work. Right up, yeah. Don't give.
See, that's what I'd like to see with Lewis. Not only moving his hands, shoe shining, you know, hustling a little. There he gets caught.
And he got caught by a left hook and then a right hand trouble down.
Again, all night long, he spit into the wind, and it came right back and hit him.
A knockdown scored with 50 seconds to go here in round number 8. Tony Lewis, undefeated, trying to survive.
A lot of time left.
Oh, he ate a right hand there, Teddy. He doesn't look good. He's wobbly, going side to side.
And he doesn't know how to tie up, it looks like. It looks like
Big left
nobody
hand.
has taught him how to tie up.
Hernandez measuring his opponent here.
There you can see he ties up a little bit.
See if that saves him. 20 seconds to go in round 8. Can he survive it?
Again,
A sweeping left hand that time.
showing a lot of heart, but again, showing that defense.
Towel, that's it.
And the
They
corner
throw the
stopper.
towel.
Showed a lot of heart, but showed that defensive floor all night long, standing tall in front of his opponent.
Great upset victory by Fort Worth's Jose Hernandez. Tony Lewis came in unbeaten. A change of opponent. Hernandez's own trainer doubted if his fighter was 100%, and then all of a sudden, he connects with a little TNT and pours it on to victory.
And the fuse was there early on to light up that TNT. And the fuse, the left hook, and the position that Hernandez continued to get from Lewis, of Lewis standing tall right in front.
Let's go back and show you the first knockdown in the series of punches that started it all.
It's going to be a left hook all night long, and then a right hand behind it. Hernandez knew what to do once he saw the legs of Lewis shake a little bit. And here's the end of the fight. Well, again, Hernandez understood he had his man hurt. He had a certain amount of time left. Keep the hands going, and finally get the referee to step in. Once again, the hands going to Hernandez. Lewis looks at his corner. As he's looking at his corner, the reason he was looking that way that time was because he was looking at the towel being thrown in from his father, the head trainer there, Jose Lewis. As he looked over there, he got caught another punch.
Let's go up to the ring for Ray Flores.
7 seconds of the 8th round. The corner has thrown him down. Thus, your winner by technical knockout, Jose El Loco Hernandez.
Jose Hernandez. Great win for him on short notice. 14th of his career, just the 6th knockout. Let's go up to the ring to Bernardo.
Thank you very much, Joe. Your trainer said you can go 8 rounds. That's exactly when it happened. Walk us through the finish.
Well, I just tried my best, man. I give the thanks to Lord God. I'm very grateful, man. I'm lost of words right now. I'm very grateful to God for giving me this opportunity. I spend my time and dedication in the gym. Everybody knows that, whether it's 3, 4, 5 days, whether it's 3 months. I give my dedication in the gym. I work. I do everything a working man can do for his family. I came here and I did what I had to do.
You're one of 15 children. You're hungry as can be. We were walking up here together to the fight, and you said, I'm here to shock the world. When did you know that you could do it? Because it turned out to be a great fight from the beginning, both of you guys going with those left hooks.
I knew it from the beginning, man. I've been up against a lot of prospects, Mickey Bay, Sharif Bozier. The only one that actually really beat me, that I give the props to, is Sharif Bozier and Oscar Mesa. You know, the other fighters have come up real close. They took the win just because of the promoter, you know. I'm gonna be in the gym every single day. I'm gonna be in the gym every single day, working out, and ready for my next fight, man. And all I can say is, thank you, Lord Jesus Christ.
They call him Jose Loco Hernandez. He was crazy to take this fight, according to his trainer, but now he came away with the victory. Back to you, Joe.
Yeah, he was just 4-5-1 in his last 10 fights, but he strikes gold here, and he did it in great fashion with the power and then knowing how to close the show with an 8th-round TKO over previously undefeated Tony Lewis. They threw in the towel. We'll take a quick break and come back with more.